So Lee,
Yes,
is
sir.
Medicare different in Idaho?
Original Medicare is not any different in Idaho. Original Medicare offered through the federal government. It's a federal benefit, therefore it's a federal plan. It's the same in all 50 states. So as far as the A and B that we spoke of just a second ago, that's the same. The Part B premium is the same across the country. That doesn't vary. With that, if you qualify for some state financial assistance like Medicaid, then that Part B premium might be reduced, which can be beneficial for people. But original Medicare itself, it is what it is, right? The coverages, the costs, they are what they are. Where it can get different from state to state are those Medicare supplements and the Medicare Advantage plans, and sometimes the drug plans as well. Not only are those different from state to state, but especially on the Medicare Advantage plans, the Part Cs, those can vary from county to county. So we have people come in all the time that come in and say, well, my sister in Boise has this plan. I want the same thing. Well, we don't have the same plans in Eastern Idaho where we are that are in Boise, or same thing in other states. I think last Friday, someone came in and said, hey, my sister's in Oklahoma and she's got this amazing benefit and this, and this, and her copays are this and this. Okay, I'm happy for her. That's in Oklahoma, right? It's a little bit different here in Idaho. And so we have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. And speaking of which, your eligibility into the different plans is solely based on your primary residence as to which county you are living in. So you can still travel, you can still use plans elsewhere, but as far as what plans you're eligible for here in Idaho, it's based on which county Medicare and Social Security are showing that you actually live in.
You know, I think that leads to a great question that we get quite often. Is my plan portable? So what if I move from Oklahoma to Idaho, or I moved from Boise to Idaho, or I live in Salt Lake, or I live in Wyoming or Montana? We had a client email us this morning that's living in Wyoming and retiring in a year and wanted to ask this question. So what happens if that client who's in Wyoming now, and we enroll them in a plan in Wyoming, then decides to move to California or to Idaho? What happens then?
Great question for sure. So yeah, Medicare requires you again to have a plan that's available where your residence is. So if you change that residence from Wyoming or Arizona or California to Idaho, then Medicare requires you to get on an Idaho-based plan. So that's a Medicare Advantage, a PDP or a prescription drug plan, or Medicare supplement. It's always good to touch base with a local broker to say, hey, what do I need to do now at this point? Now, we specifically, we're licensed in 9 different states, and so we help people that move in and out of the state, especially if you're here in the western states. That's pretty easy for us to do. But yes, you are required by Medicare that you have, when you do move, you have what we call a special enrollment period. So whatever time of the year that is, you don't have to wait till the next fall. If you move in July, well, then you qualify for a special enrollment period in that July and August to make a change based on where your new residence is listed.
Yeah. Yep.
Great
Great answer.